My ass music.
I have a question. Well, to ask something. What do you think about everything people say about reality TV? The superficiality, the culture of emptiness. For me, the term culture of emptiness doesn't mean anything. Music?
The guy who says to you, for me, that term doesn't mean anything. He's always right. Either he'll prove to you step by step why that term is overused in his eyes, without necessarily convincing you, but at least by explaining to you what convinced him. Music.
For me, being respectful of the person who welcomes you.
That doesn't mean anything. Okay, and why is that?
Do we even agree on what respect means? How am I supposed to know your rules at your place?
Well, in this case, you're peeing on my armchair.
Don't interrupt me right now. And besides, it's not really okay to watch someone while they're peeing.
Either he really doesn't understand the term. He doesn't know it. So for him, it doesn't mean anything. He's right.
Because there were a lot of guys who came to my streams and said to me, yeah, but Nazda, does that count as culture of emptiness? HMI, does that count as culture of emptiness? Okay.
So he doesn't understand what he's talking about. I think he must have thought that by combining the definitions of the words culture and empty, you vaguely get what the association of those words means.
Well, it's a synonym for fallow.
When you cultivate, nothing. The culture of emptiness is the overload of information and the resulting difficulty in sorting out what's important and what isn't due to a lack of hierarchy.
Damn, did you see It's War? What, the food warmer? No, on Snap, influencers.
The rise of social media and smartphones has led to the cult of grabbing attention.
The number of views, likes, shares.
And very quickly, appearance has dethroned substance. Emptiness has taken its place.
Dethroned is too kind, honestly. I think it even took a shit in its mouth.
Semi-liquid substance in this case, so we can't say that Nazda or shitty content like that, even though it plays on appearances and lacks substance, is part of the culture of emptiness. But the massive spread of these videos on all social media contributes to it.
I might have said it, but we can watch League of Legends or Smash. It's basically the same thing.
No. When you log in to watch a League of Legends match because that's what you wanted to watch, it has nothing to do with the culture of emptiness. Even if maybe it's empty of culture.
Great. I'll open another for the occasion.
That's it. I got it. What he didn't understand. Actually, he picked the wrong fight. He's stuck on that old debate about whether it's culture or entertainment, right?
It feels like a theme within a theme. He's definitely about to go off on a tangent. Glad I brought a whole case today.
I'm all for completely separating the two. They're really not the same thing. Culture is about broadening knowledge. It's about action, thinking, getting involved, building yourself, and because of its depth, culture stands the test of time. Whereas entertainment is just an escape to tune out and lose yourself in the immediacy of the present moment. Culture stimulates the imagination, whereas entertainment maintains its absence. Of course, whether it's culture or entertainment, each can contain a part of the other within itself. Ha 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 ha. Niche on having fun is great. It's escaping for a moment from the constraints of daily life, but it's also diving into a comforting numbness. Numbness that we try to prolong for your well-being. And especially during that time, well, you don't question your submission to consumption. The entertainment industry has turned the exploitation of playfulness into enslavement. Perfectly compatible with modern slavery. It's easier to lose yourself, even in the worst kind of work, when the fruit of that effort allows us to consume entertainment between 2 days of labor. Culture, which cannot be monetized, can get us out of this cycle by unsettling us, by forcing us to go against others and against ourselves. Hence our idea to create a culture of entertainment. If entertainment is culture, then culture is entertainment. This confusion corrupts the latter, making it harmless. But well, maybe I'm getting further and further off topic. You digressed, huh? 3 beers?
It's fine. You're not going to bring up Joel.
It's just class contempt, that's all.
The way he looked down on him with his intervention, Joel. A little hand on the arm. Shut up. That's class contempt.
You think it's class contempt?
You think so? Well, yeah, I didn't say it exactly with those words.
But in my opinion, Joel isn't really comfortable with the term class contempt. I even think he could have said, for me...
The term class contempt doesn't mean anything.
Wait, if I understood correctly, we're talking about influencers watched by all the teenagers in France, even bourgeois kids, and about the most played video games in the world, including bourgeois kids. They were the ones who started playing it since it needed a powerful computer. You're drifting away, my friend, I know. Or reality shows featuring rich people in super luxurious environments. Isn't calling it class contempt too simplistic? Isn't it like Godwin's law for culture, used when someone can't respond? Or maybe it's just a class with a whole lot of people in it.
I think that as soon as something goes a little beyond their standard, guys are like, whoa.
That sounds off topic. They immediately put it in the...
Isn't it a bit far from their standard?
He looked down on him again, but it was likely just to keep him on topic, so it's fine.
It's a bit far from their experience.
No, it was to say pretty much the same thing.
If you grew up like Nasda in his neighborhood,
In his neighborhood.
in his neighborhood,
In his neighborhood?
in his neighborhood, you see stuff on Snap, doesn't it shock you?
Okay. Violence against women, hypersexualization around minors, exploitation of people in psychological distress, no respect from anyone towards anyone, and that's not all. For the people in the neighborhood, that wouldn't be a problem, right? Isn't that actually class-based contempt? Yeah.
If you didn't grow up in that environment, you'll wonder what they're doing
When it hit 40 million views, it was only working class people who lived there.
in his neighborhood.
Especially since it's precisely the act of shocking people, of provoking strong emotions quickly, that's the best way to capture attention, the real key to this business model. So that's why the fake poop was on the dresser at the start of the video, right? Sure, it's great for debate when everyone at the table shares the same opinion.
And what do you think? They're just not the target audience.
To say stuff like, that's stupid, and so on. Who decides? The same thing was said about rap. Damn, but again, it has nothing to do with a culture of emptiness. It's more the lack of culture that was being pointed out. But indeed, originally, rap and the people who listened to it were subjected to that social pressure called class-based contempt. On the other hand, I would point out another kind of social pressure. The obligation, especially for young people, to follow the crowd and the trends. As Gustave Le Bon said, the influence of fashion is so powerful that it sometimes forces us to admire uninteresting things, which will even seem extremely ugly to us a few years later. Once you've got a few years behind you, you inevitably have in your mind some examples of crappy music you listened to or terrible clothes you wore. You knew it was lame, but you went along with it just to fit in. Today, a teenager, even a middle-class kid from a private Catholic school, has to know the latest rap videos. It's been the most listened to music genre in France for quite a few years now. And it seems that to make it big, they had to give up hard-hitting lyrics and rich rhymes, and focus on influencer gossip and everything that creates buzz on social media. Entertainment culture has made viral content seem like quality, encouraging people to like things by imitation. Even if he thinks it's crap, even if he's one of the few who dares to say it, he'll still be forced to know about and take an interest in what, socially, connects him to the group. At the office coffee machine on Monday, I have to spend all Sunday watching sports just to join the conversation. It works for some topics though. People said the same about comic books and manga. Even if there are guys who go see Demon Slayer at the movies at 30 years old, I don't judge. But some would say it's funny how people try to elevate what captivates them above mere entertainment while putting down and belittling what doesn't interest them. League of Legends, but that's esports, that's pop culture. But FIFA, that's crap. It's like being ashamed to live for entertainment, so they try to turn it into some kind of pseudo-culture. They'll still remain passive toward it.
Paradox.
Me, I drink beer for fun.
I own it.
Personally, I read manga, I watch series, I play Zelda and Street Fighter. Well, all of that is entertainment. And I know you would have liked to go see Demon Slayer at the movies too. But well, those who can afford to go to the movies look down on you. My videos that you watch, they're categorized as entertainment on YouTube. It's entertainment even if there might be a little bit of culture in it. Not in this case. But I would feel really weak wanting to impose my hobbies or the result of my work in the cultural sphere. It's culture, it's definitely culture, I agree. Yeah, but you, in any case, you always agree with the last person who spoke. Basically, I totally agree, it's class contempt. Not everything is intelligent. But simply, what's the problem if that's possibly not intelligent? I'm bothered because by concluding on the empty culture, I'm going to be a bit off topic since they didn't talk about it at all. But well, I've digressed enough about the rest.
A little, yeah, that was my last one.
Without realizing it, guys who don't even know what it is perfectly described empty culture and its harm. Totally agree. When, for example, while scrolling on your favorite app, you can come across two different videos talking about the culture of emptiness one after the other. The first one is from a conscientious and well-informed sociologist. That's crap. Then one from those four guys with no knowledge of the subject at all, and unfortunately, well, you don't know how much importance to give to the information you just absorbed. Well, personally, I prefer those who seem to speak more honestly, more relaxed. You know what I mean, right? Plus, I have the same headband as Joel. By guys, obviously, who take themselves seriously, even though they rely on nothing but themselves. And that's not much. Totally agree. So, we could just go straight to class-based contempt by saying that the better educated you are, the easier it is to sort information, which is true. It doesn't matter if you live in a fancy villa or in your neighborhood. But unfortunately, I think it's just a matter of time spent scrolling before empty culture strips us of culture.
I say let's go for it. Well, I've never been good at math.
Gabriel naked at the table. He's there.
I'm shocked. Son of a bitch.
If you want another paradox, type on the keyboard. If you want another paradox, type on the key in the interest of the United States. 100% agreed. Times are tough on YouTube, so a big thank you to those who please the algorithm. And also to those who support me on Typee. See you soon?
Yes, thank you. Luckily, I got out of it.